Welcome to Luddenham Raceway, located roughly 45 kilometres west of Sydney's CBD. The perfect battleground for today's head-to-head.
G'day, I'm Richo.
And I'm Scott.
And today we are at Luddenham Raceway with two fairly iconic Hondas.
Indeed, we've got the Honda DC5 and we've got the Honda EP3. And why are we here, Richo?
Because we are launching two new plug-ins, one for the DC5 and one for the EP3.
Now, they've got very similar engines, they've got very similar DNA, their engine management systems are different, so we do have two different plug-in ECUs, and today we're going to be showing you how to plug that ECU into your DC5 or your EP3, get it up and running and get it on the track.
Well, I suppose we should probably get familiar with the cars.
Let's do it.
Few side profiles are as easily recognisable as the Integra DC5. And while it's not the fastest nor the flashiest car these days, it remains just about as cool as an NA front-wheel drive car can get. Built from 2001 to 2006 and daily driven from day one, clean examples are getting harder to find. But if you grab a nice one, you're in for a treat.
Here we are in the DC5 at Luddenham. Tell us some facts about this car.
Well, it's a Honda.
It is a
It's
Honda.
a Honda, that's their tagline. And you know what? I fully get it because the build quality is really good.
You would daily drive this, right?
Oh, 100%. And it's a beautiful car to drive. They're zippy, they're fantastic in traffic, they've got really, really sharp steering. They go pretty good.
So what's the main difference, do you think, between this, the DC5 and EP3? Because on paper, they're pretty similar, really.
They really are. In Europe, they didn't get the DC5, they only got the EP3.
Really?
Because Honda kind of looked at it and said, oh, they are too similar. People are going to think it's the same car.
It's just a hot hatch. Because I like the DC5 to me looks sportier.
When I see an EP3 in traffic, you look at the driver and go, hang on, they know what's up.
It's a if you know, you know kind of thing.
Yeah. You know what the truth is, we probably shouldn't even talk about power because they are so close that it's probably not even worth talking about, to be completely honest. What is different is where the peak power is presented. So the EP3's peak torque is a little bit lower, whereas the DC5, this car, does make peak power right at that nearly 8,000 RPM rev limiter.
And it revs right out?
It revs right out, and I'll sit there all day. And that's what the difference is between this and other cars of the time. So if we just start doing this, what perfect timing. You ready for it? You ready? Listen. Oh, stop it. And you know what's beautiful? Go and find an SR20 and do that.
Yeah, right.
Good luck.
Rockers, see you later.
And I think that there's a lot to do with this thing is that Honda engineering. Like, no one can deny that Honda make fantastic engines. They breathe so well, they rev so well, and they're super reliable. In order to get a car that behaves so calmly and sedately like this, but as soon as it flicks over to that cam lobe, the VTEC on point, that is a wildly aggressive camshaft. If you want to kind of think about it as it's two engines in one, it's a racing engine, and then it's a very, very fuel efficient, very emissions friendly engine down low. Like, mate, engine wise, no one can deny a K-Series. They are a brilliant thing. Should we hear that VTEC one more time?
Let's go on VTEC. Ready? Let's hit it. Brakes work?
Brakes work.
Brakes
They're still
work.
there.
Well, mate, that's the DC5. I suppose we should have a look at the EP3 and do a comparison.
It's European, brother.
I know what you're thinking. That's the least European car you've ever seen. But all will be explained shortly. The EP3 Civic Type R was actually never sold in America nor Australia, yet has grown a cult following worldwide. Lightweight, NA power, great reliability, and the smiles per gallon have never been higher.
Okay, mate, so we're in the EP3 now. You said European.
It's European, mate. It's like an Audi or a Mercedes or a BMW,
Right.
but it's a Honda. I saw
okay.
your face. Were you a bit shocked?
Yeah, explain it to me.
So this car, the Honda EP3, built in sunny old England.
Really?
Yeah. Wildly popular car there. The car hasn't really lasted so much there. However, the engine and the driveline has lasted, and everybody converts these into all of the kit cars, which are wildly popular in that part of the world.
Mate, the interior on this, like this has got Recaro seats from factory.
It's beautiful. It's super comfy.
And they're super comfy, and it looks sportier from the inside.
Compared to the DC5, the DC5 I feel a lot more comfortable with the seating position and the feel of the car, whereas in here, I definitely feel like I'm driving a shoebox.
Right, feel a bit cramped?
I feel like I'm in a key car, and it's not, yes, I know, I'm centimeters or, but in this car, I still feel the shifter's in a sort of a funny place. I feel like we're not sitting together. It is feeling a little bit weird, whereas in the DC5, I'm like, yeah, I'm in a luxury car.
Felt a bit more saloony, didn't it? Compared to this is a hatch. I believe from when these came out, these were actually more powerful than the Ford Focus of the time.
Right.
And the Golf GTO of the time.
Ooh, don't say Golf. That's
and lighter.
Maybe Golf and Focus owners can thank this car for pushing those manufacturers to put more turbocharger, more boost, more power into them.
Well, that's the thing, as we were talking about with the DC5, these cars came out with quite a lot of power for a naturally aspirated engine, and everyone else just went, we have to go turbo.
Are you leading into something there, Richard?
I think you can. Yeah, I think so. So what? let's talk about potential mods for these cars.
All right. So first things first with these, the VTEC point. Oh, we better hear the VTEC point. Do we hear the VTEC point?
Okay, we're on the straight. Let's go for VTEC.
It's raw. It is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool. It is very cool.
It's a lot of fun.
So they can be a whole lot more fun. If we leave this in factory form, wonderful.
Yep.
Our first task, I think, is to fit an engine management system.
Yep.
This is where we come in. We've got our direct plug-in now for the EP3 or the DC5.
Yep.
With that, we can tune this engine. We can lower the VTEC point. We can actually turn the VTEC on or turn on the big camshafts earlier than what factory did.
Right.
And that fills a big chunk in the torque curve. So you normally, when you give it a hit, you can feel the VTEC come on and go, oh yeah. If you bring it in 2000 RPM earlier, we talk about that power, that area under the curve. So that gives us more torque earlier. It gives us very similar peak power, but it gives us more power down low. So essentially, we're making more power.
Yeah. You could go, I don't know, ITBs are really popular on these, right?
Absolutely.
Stick those on, tune it with your Haltech.
You can definitely do that. Power-wise, we don't see much of a difference. Right. The noise is incredible.
Sounds awesome.
For a lot of those cars, yep, absolutely, because for the look of that, to be sort of period correct for a lot of the earlier race cars, that makes complete sense, and they look and sound wonderful. But
then you get sick of your ITBs and you go, too noisy, I want more power, I want to go supercharger.
Supercharger is the next step, absolutely, and super, super popular on these because there's a lot of fantastic kits. Not too clumsy. You don't need to be doing turbo exhaust manifolds and all of this extra stuff. So that is the next step up, and you can make very, very good power with a supercharger kit on this.
So if you put a supercharger on this and you had the plug-in that we've got, you'd just run the wizard again and tell it it's got boost?
Run the wizard. Once that all fills out, all of the boost tables are already populated in all the maps. So they're there, we hit the key, it starts, it runs, you take it to the dyno to clean up that last 10% of the tune, and we're done.
Sounds easy. But then, the other power adder that we haven't spoken about.
My favourite, the K20 or K24 Turbo, in my opinion, is the engine. That's the one to reckon with because we do no engine mods, very, very basic. We can change oil pumps and tinker with that sort of stuff if we want to kind of really get into it, but within reason, or broadly speaking, we can turbocharge these engines and make 300 kilowatts or 400 horsepower at the wheels. These engines will live forever. Even in today's sort of technology, That's the real deal. That's a big thing.
That sounds scary, to be honest.
It is fantastic. What I wanted to showcase is I'm really, really proud of how well these plugins have turned out for the EP3 and the DC5, which allows just about anybody who knows how to use a PC to go through, answer a bunch of questions, hit the key, and then get your car on the track. So what I'm planning to do, I've got a bunch of people here in the pits. Don't know who we're going to pick yet, but we'll pick 2 people. We're going to line these 2 cars up.
Yep.
Factory ECU 1 lap. We come in for a ECU stop.
ECU stop.
And then we go out and do 1 more lap. And whoever comes over the finish line on the Haltech ECU is the winner of the day.
Sounds good to me. I suppose we should go and pick our drivers.
All right, let's do it.
So mate, we've been out on the track in the Hondas, each picked our favourite. I'm DC5 guy.
And I'm EP3 all the way. I like the look of the EP3. Truthfully, I don't really like how it drives. It's real darty and real go-karty. So I think anything high speed, no chance. But to look at it, I think it's a really pretty car.
Yes, you know, I like the look of the DC5 and I felt more comfortable in it. It felt, as I said, more a bit saloony rather than that was a bit twitchy, yeah.
All right, you've picked the DC5. I've got the EP3.
Yep.
The truth between the hardware platforms, there's not too much of a difference. The engine management system is bolted in up under the glove box. So I think it's a pretty fair fight mechanically for replacing these systems. Software-wise, also a pretty fair fight whether you choose a DC5 or an EP3 in the software. So that's going to be relatively equal. What's not going to be equal is the representative we choose to do this work.
I think I've picked my person. Have you?
110%. I know exactly who I'm picking.
Okay, I've picked Anna. If you've ever been to any of our stands at Time Attack or Summer Nats or anything like that, any of the events that we've been to in Australia, you've probably seen Anna. She works on the marketing team here at Haltech. What about your experience with cars?
Well, I mean, I can drive manual, so that's a good start. But no, never installed an ECU, never tuned a car. So this will be interesting.
Hey, I know that this is really easy. I've done it myself and you can do it. I've got faith in you and I reckon you can beat whoever Scott picks.
Fingers crossed.
Now I saw Richard go off and grab Anna and she's got some experience with the Haltech stuff, so I feel like he's kind of cheating a little bit, but I feel like I'm cheating a bit too. I've gone and found this guy. He looks fast. Mate, how do you go around the track? Are you quick? Have you got much experience with engine management systems? Do you know how to use a laptop? USB cable, Haltech? All right, well look, it's so easy, almost anyone can do it with the quick start guide. I'm still feeling confident that I've found the faster looking driver. So let's get on with the action. We'll put these cars side by side, get some engine management systems into them and see who the real victor is.
So, Scott's driver.
I feel like we're in a pretty good position. What do you think?
Yeah, interesting character.
Have you had a conversation with him?
No, I haven't heard him speak.
I really appreciate you doing this for me. I'm super stoked about the excitement and the confidence that you've been showing. I think there's pretty much no way, dressed like that, there is absolutely no way that we can't win.
I still reckon you've got this, hey?
I mean, I hope so. It would be quite nice to, you know, take the win.
All right, here we are at the start-finish line.
There we go,
I'm going to hand the keys over to you.
God.
And you are going to beat whatever that is.
Perfect, sounds good.
While our drivers are locked in the heat of battle, I'll take you through the steps required to get your Nexus plug-in up and running. So the first step is to gain access to your stock ECU. So just remove the stock interior panel, then grab a 10mm and unbolt the standard ECU from its mounting position. Unplug your factory ECU from the harness and then using the same connectors plug your Nexus ECU in. We've also included mounting brackets so you can fit the Nexus ECU into the factory spot. Next, open NSP on your laptop and connect it to the ECU using the yellow cable. This will power up the ECU without you having to turn the key. NSP is going to automatically recognise your ECU and that'll trigger the setup wizard. And from here we just run through the wizard and it'll easily set up a base map for your car. NSP will give you a summary of your selections before you confirm, and then once you're good, the software will advise when it's safe to start the car.
Well, mate, that was the race.
What a race. Look, I know it's a little bit silly, but we are trying to point out here that we put a plug-in ECU directly into this stock DC5 engine or the stock EP3, which this is the majority of the install. So this factory engine, not so much in these cars, but this engine, this harness into a conversion car. And what we're trying to show is that once you run through the wizard, you do the quick start, you get the thing up and running, you're ready to rock and roll.
Super easy. Like Anna legitimately did that herself. She just breezed through it. The car started. She was
no cheating at all.
No cheating at all.
No cheating at all.
No robots
recorded.
Yeah. You go back. You go. We can go back and watch this up. Anyway, guys.
Full disclosure, I already had 2 of the bolts out on the ECU, and we're still lost.
Well, there you go, guys. DC5, EP3 plugins, Nexus plug-in, they're available now. If you've got one of these, I reckon you need to go buy one. They're a pretty good bit of kit.
Hey, as always, thanks so much for watching. My name's Scott.
I'm Richo.
See you next time.
Bitten by a girl. Yeah, the girls.